Hey everybody, Very Transformed here again, and today I'm reviewing the Transformers Titans Return Voyager class, Megatron. Now Megatron here is a tank, but he also is a triple changer, he also becomes a jet. So yeah, this is I guess you could say a remold of the Blitzwing mold, even though this one came out first. It's kind of the same situation Sentinel Prime has with Astro Train, where Sentinel Prime came first, but you could tell this mold was made for Astro Train. But yeah, same mold as the Titans Return Blitzwing, so we get the same tank mode and all that, but we do get some differences other than just the head. There is some like chest remolding and such in this figure. Speaking of the Type Master, let's start with him. Yeah, pretty simple Type Master, not much paint on him, which kind of stinks considering the only paint on the head mode is the eyes, so I'm not really sure where all the paint went for this little guy. But the head's kind of like the head for a Type Master. I'm not sure you can see it, but it's kind of a cross between Blitzwing and Megatron. Like it's a Megatron helmet, but the eyes are kind of more like Blitzwing with the goggle effect. So it's kind of like in the middle. I'm not sure if they remolded this guy for Blitzwing or not, other than the face, of course. In tank mode, you can take him, have him sit in the top here, and have him operate the tank. And look at the tank itself, it's a pretty nice little tank. I mean, I think it works better than the Generations Blitzwing that we had. That one kind of was a mess to me with how scattered its colors were. Here this looks like a pretty solid tank. We do get the treads down here, and they are bent so that way you can actually, cross terrain and such. And the one thing that looks weird is that the tank treads stop here, but then we still have an extra bit of tank sticking out. It's not enough to really make him like tip backward or anything, but it's just it's a little bit of a weird of stick, just having extra bits that don't have treads holding them up. So, what can you do? And you do, of course, have these little pieces here where the jet engines just kind of stick out the front. It's kind of the same problem that G1 Blitzwing had there. You can also see like the arm joint there, but they've tried their best to hide it all. You get the wings here, you got technically the jet here. Thankfully, the tank tread does cover most. The tank cannon turret does cover most of this, because if it wasn't there, a lot of little transformation nastiness sticking out. So yeah, not the best tank mode, but I think they did a decent job for what they have, considering it's a triple changer. He does have two accessories. One is the cannon. It's of course G1 Megatron's cannon, and you can actually stick this over the tank turret, which is pretty puny little tank turret. So you can give him a proper Megatron cannon going. And it does look pretty good. And then also you have his other gun, which is the Titan Master weapon, as I call it, just because this is the thing that you set Titan Master in. So if you want to take the Headmaster once again, you could put him in the little chair here. Don't think there's any other place to put it just on top of the other cannon, which it does peg in, and it does have two tabs at the front, so you can really lock that in. You can give him a much bigger, more threatening turret, I guess. A double turret. Although now he's sitting up a lot higher. I feel like he's going to get shot at. Even with it pegged in, I kind of just prefer to leave him down here. And most of the time, if I put him in tank mode, I don't add the extra gun. I just leave the cannon on the front here. But yeah, with the extra cannon, it does look a lot more like a threatening tank. And I do think it's a good tank mode. Let's get him to his other mode, jet mode. Well, actually, before we do that, let's get some size comparisons with some other tanks. Here we have Hardhead, and here we have little Rumble for a size comparison. So you can see, yep, definitely bigger than the Deluxe, although the Deluxe, he's kind of more just bulkier than bigger, and much bigger than the little Legends class. So yeah, let's get him to jet mode. You can leave the cannon on if you wish to transform, but it is a little bit easier because it's going to pop off easily. So to start off, you're going to come to these little side panels that are clearly the wings. Straighten them out. And underneath them is the other panel that makes the wingtip. Go ahead and flip those all out. Come to the front here, and you're going to want to grab the sides and pull them away from the main body of the tank. But you don't want to grab them from the front because these are the tail wings for the jet mode. So you're going to want to just kind of grab from the middle here so that way you're not accidentally pulling on these. Not that it'll break, but it's just, I had a while where I couldn't get them unpegged because I thought you had to unpeg the whole thing. Raise the wings up a little bit, give you some more room for this. You're going to take the tank treads and they're going to fold up in the middle where the arm joint is. And they'll actually peg like so. Oh, not supposed to have those pop out. And again, fold it up towards the middle, and it'll actually peg like so. Go ahead and take the tank turret and kind of bring it up like so. We're going to come to the sides here, where the front piece of the jet is, and just actually unpeg the whole side panel that the jet wing and such are sitting on. You're going to flip it over, take the tail fins, fold them, or rotate them up. You're going to want them at about a 90-degree angle. Because next, these pieces that we just loosened up here, we're going to take and they're going to fold this way towards the turret. You might have some part clashing. Bring them up, and they'll peg right in here, and they'll actually tap in with the tail wing. Like so. Then you can go and fold out the side part there to finish the tail wings. Once again, come back here, rotate it all the way around. Tab it in. Make sure everything stays pegged all together. And there you have most of the jet done. And for this, you could have had this folded out, Megatron's chest plate. I already have it all folded up, but you may have to do that if you haven't already done it. Come to the bottom here, you're going to need to take the turret down and out of the way, otherwise there's not enough clearance for this. And you cannot move this until these are untabbed, because they're tabbed in right here, keeping these from moving. The main jet, the front of the jet. So you're going to fold it all the way around. Open the front part here. And fold up the nose cone, close it again. Take the turret and you can just face it either way you wish. And there you have Megatron in his jet mode. And I think this is a really nice jet mode. And of course, this is also Blitzwing's jet mode, and I gotta say, this works a lot better than the Generations Blitzwing. That jet mode, while held together, both that figure's alt modes were just kind of messy. This one, it is messy, but they try to at least give you a solid vehicle with a little bit of mess on it. Like, you do got some mess here because you got like the tank sides and all that hanging under the wings. You got a tank turret on the bottom, but honestly, tank turret's kind of expected with Blitzwing. I'm pretty sure every Blitzwing has a tank turret just kind of sitting on the bottom in jet mode. And I think this makes for a really solid looking vehicle. The only thing that's weird is you should have Megatron's chest plate just in here. I'm sure it blends in better on the Blitzwing remold, but here, yeah, you kind of just have Megatron's chest plate. Although you can pop this back open where you had the nose cone folded away. Take the Titan Master, sit him in, you can actually have him riding in jet mode, and I think that looks pretty cool because it looks kind of like a real cockpit. Once again, for size, here he is next to Hardhead and Rumble. And he looks a bit bigger in jet mode, of course, being a lot wider and probably a little bit longer. You can take the turret, the little black cannon, and add it to the turret once again. And this will give him a lot more of a bounce, because without it, he kind of does wobble. And he does have landing gear, and I don't think there's any landing gear on the cannon. But there is a little bit of landing gear right here, so he does have 3 landing gear already set up on the turret. But adding that does give him a lot more bounce. He doesn't feel like he's going to tip over quite as easily. And the other gun actually has a set place up here. It can actually help hold the transformation together, as there's just 2 tabs on the bottom here that go clip over the legs here, and it'll tab in the back there. Like so. It gives them another gun from the top, as well as a place to put Titan Master if you want. So you can take the Titan Master, put him over here again. And here it feels a bit better. It's still weird Titan Master's just sitting on the outside, but here at least I can see this as like a second gun from the man or something. And it's kind of cool that it's not just piled on top of the tank turret, and it gives him like above and below. It looks like something out of a video game, like a boss you gotta fight or something. Looks like a boss from like an old not Galaga, but Gradius. You know, like an old Gradius boss or something. I really like how it looks though. So, let's get to his final transformation to his robot mode, of course, where we get the most Megatron-y mode of all. Go ahead and take these, set them to the side. Open up the front cockpit. You're going to fold that cone away again, like that. Lift the tank turret. Fold it away into the inside there. Now, you do save some transformation by transferring from tank mode, but I do feel it's easier to transform from jet to robot. And I'll show you why in a minute. Go ahead and take these side panels, fold them back up like they were before. Fold them back up like they were before over here too. And before you fold up this chest plate, you must have moved these up first, because this chest plate, when you fold it up and over, actually locks in over these little side pieces. Like so. Ooh, something's going on. Fold away the tail fins. Fold them up and away like so. Take the tank turret upward. Split the legs. Open up the back panels and they open inward, so be careful which way you open them. Flip around the little jet engines to make feet. Fold that back away. Fold tail fins up. I'm gonna fold tail fins up over here too, but yep, make sure you open it inward because when I first got this figured out, it opened the other way. Fold the engine around. Actually, you're gonna want these unfolded still because to transfer the legs, they do have this kind of double joint thing that we've been having since like Combiner Wars. Fold it out. Oh. Fold the panel back out. Fold out the jet mode again. Fold it back up. And finally, here come these little side pieces that were forming the sides of the tank. Fold them down. Take this piece and it'll fold out of the way like this to form a shoulder. Bring it up on double hinge, peg it in, rotate forward, fold it up, and now give it his arm. Fold it all the way down, bring it up on the double hinge, fold it up out of the way, make a shoulder, fold this up to reveal his hand and arm. Then the wings you can do whatever you want with, but I prefer to fold them back, fold the tips in like they were in tank mode, and then fold them at the halfway point there. And now give him enough room to put his arms down, while also compressing in the wings if you don't want the wings out. Bring it on up. Oh, let's not knock him out. And go ahead and fold up the head like so. And you see a very Megatron-esque head. I really like this head sculpt. This is one of the biggest reasons I bought this figure was for this head sculpt. And let's see, let's get that. There we go. And there you have Titan's Return Megatron. You do have this gimmick here where you press this button and it does that whole, head widening thing like a lot of the Voyagers do. Don't really care for this. This works better for Blitzwing. I believe these are accurate to Blitzwing. I personally don't like them, but I will leave them out for the review so we can see what they look like. And then for his weapon, you can take these two, and the black cannon actually overlaps over the gray piece to give him a much bigger looking cannon. And then you can peg it to the side of his arm. Like so. And that doesn't look bad or anything, but it does bug me that this is gray. I wish they painted this black or at least molded it in black plastic to kind of fit in better. Especially since you're also left with this open space right here. But, there is him in his robot mode. Now we got Megatron in his robot mode. Go ahead and comparisons out of the way. Here he is next to Hardhead, so much bigger in this mode. And there he is next to Rumble, much larger, of course. But that gives you your, typical comparisons, Legend, Slux, Voyager. Go ahead and get those two out of the way. As I mentioned, he does have this gimmick up here where you can to put them away, you just gotta fold them away, and then you can press this button again. I don't really like them because they also get in the way of his head articulation, and unlike, say, Sentinel Prime or Broadside, he does not have this little spinner piece to allow him to look around. I don't know what's going on with the camera. Let me fix the camera. Ugh, cannot wait for that new camera stand. So, there we have it in his robot mode, and he is very Megatron looking. I mean, as I mentioned, the head mold is very much Megatron. Maybe not Masterpiece style Megatron, but there's no mistaking the helmet shape and the look of his eyes, the slanted eyes. For the chest, you do have the broad gray chest that Megatron usually has Decepticon symbol. He also has his little chest hairs from IDW, little swirly chest hairs. No Autobot symbol. This did not come with stickers. All the stickers were pre-applied. You do get like the G1 style detailing in here with the red with some gray and orange in there. The crotch kind of area is kind of the cod piece and all that's kind of in the black that you would expect with Megatron. No red on the inside of the legs, but you do get a little bit of red at top here in black. All the colors are definitely Megatron style. Black cans, gray, red for the elbow. Only thing I don't really like about the aesthetic is I don't mind these shoulder parts here, but here I don't really like how the shoulder looks kind of... I don't know how you want to call it, but it doesn't look like it's solid, It kind of has a similar problem to what TFC Hercules does on one of his arms, where the arm doesn't look quite solid. It might just because there's a big old hinge in the middle. Not a big old hinge, but the crease that's going down the middle makes it look very much unsolid. Plus the top being like kind of bumpy. And then you also have like the tank treads on the arms just kind of hanging off. Hanging off of them, so I don't mind too much, but kind of just seeing the treads does look a little ugly. But overall, I think this does match Megatron's overall look pretty dang well. And you also have the tank turret. Unfortunately, you really can't hide it any more than it currently is. You could take it and have it be a bit more down, but it's going to be just kind of hanging out there. Unless you want to do something, no matter what, you're going to have it like sticking out, or you're going to have it hanging down here where you can see it too. So personally, I just leave it folded up as it is, and just have the turret pointing up, because that's the least amount, because if you fold it your way around, you have a big old square sticking out. You also have it stick out to the side if you want. You know, it still rotates and all that. Not really any gimmicks in this mode, although I do like this. The tail fins, I don't know if they showed this, but you can actually fold them down. They actually do line up with the bottom of the feet. So you can give them some extended heel spurs if you need to. If you have any kind of exaggerated poses, or if you just feel like you need more heel spur, you can do that, and it works pretty well. But he does have heel spurs without them, so you don't necessarily need it. It's just nice. The main problem with this figure is the hip joints. For some reason, a lot of these Titans Returns Voyagers are having really loose hips and really loose knees. I mean, you can see one finger touch, and not only does the hip go all the way down, but the knee starts bending. You can see I can knock it all the way around just with one finger flip. Granted, it's a hard finger flip, but it shouldn't be this easy to flip a whole leg joint all the way around. I mean, you can see even just shaking them, joints are going nuts. The arms are not quite as bad. The arms are pretty tight. And if we're going to talk about articulation anyway, the head does fully rotate as long as you have the little pillars down. It doesn't look up and down at all. The arm, you might have to move the wing cable out of the way. It can go out this far, although you get like the broken shoulder kind of look. But you know, you do get an outward arm joint. It does rotate forward and back, which is pretty nice considering how it transforms. You do still get the elbow swivel, you get an elbow. Nothing at the hands, unfortunately, which sucks considering deluxes are getting hand articulation, but not the Voyagers. Nothing at the waist, because of how he transforms. This whole piece is one solid piece. You do get forward and back with the legs. You do go outward. And he can hold a pose despite having weak leg joints. He can hold. He's not as bad as Generations Rhinox. You do get a leg swivel, and you do get a knee. Nothing at the feet, really. I mean, you could tilt them a little bit, but they're really not going to do anything. And of course, if you want the cannon at the front, you can rotate his arm, and you can have the front-facing cannon, and you have this hand in the right position, so you can get the G1 style Megatron's ready to shoot kind of look going. And also, he does have peg holes up here, so for whatever reason you want to peg the cannon up as a shoulder cannon, you can do that. Although you might have to face the other way around. There we go. And you can give him a shoulder cannon if you want. So you could probably repaint this as a G2 style Megatron. I'm kind of surprised they didn't go for that homage, and Hasbro themselves didn't go for that homage. I mean, you kind of have all the pieces. You have a tank and you have the shoulder cannon. It's kind of all you need for a G2 Megatron homage. But yeah, if you want to paint this up as G2 Megatron, it's certainly possible. So that's Titans Return Megatron. Not the best figure, but I think he came out better than Titans Return Optimus. I think he works better as a Megatron. Like, currently this is actually my Chug style Megatron. I like it a lot better than the Classics one. He's Voyager size, which is better for me than the Combiner Wars Megatron. And I just think he's a pretty decent figure. Is he the best Megatron out there? No. I think the Combiner Wars Megatron might still be the winner there. But as far as a Voyager class, I think this is a very good Megatron. I know a lot of people are bothered by him reusing the Blitzwing mold, and I can understand that, but I can kind of look past it too with how many differences, because he does have the Megatron sculpting in there, and it does certainly feel like Megatron is right here. Plus, it just gives a really nice bulky body too. He looks really cool. So, you know, if you don't mind him reusing the Blitzwing mold, I would recommend this Megatron if you need a Voyager Megatron for your Chug collection. Or if you just like having Megatrons in general, I'd say this is a good Megatron. Just, if you're able to find out if the hips are loose or not, like if you're buying it secondhand, see if the hips are loose. If not, if they're buying a box copy, keep an eye out for those loose hips, because I'm lucky enough to where mine aren't falling over. Like, granted, if I do this, he'll fall over, but he won't. I can get him standing at least. But I've seen others that are much worse where they can't get him to stand, much like Generations Rhinox. So keep an eye out for that. So, this has been Nerd Transformed. I hope you enjoyed this review, and hope you have a good day. Take care.